What is up, you field trip people? Those of you that are not in class, I am making this video just for you. I'm not even sure who isn't going to be in class. Okay, let's rock this baby out. This is the review that I'm going to go through in class with everybody else, okay? So the test is obviously 2 days, right? Test one, or part one, you have to turn in at the end of 45 minutes tomorrow, Thursday, right? If you turn it in earlier, then you get to look at part two, and you can actually start working on part two if you want, but you don't have to finish it. I'm only going to grade part one on Thursday night. At least that's the plan. Okay, so let's talk about this. Know how to do the following. Can you name a line? So yeah, you could name a line like this, but just make sure you put little arrows over it. Or you could call it line L if there was like a lowercase L, and that's a really awesome L, isn't it? Yes, it is. If I said name array, that would be AB like this with an arrow over just one side, right? Or a segment AB, whoa, there we go, doesn't have any arrows at all, right? If I said name an angle, remember that there's 4 ways to name an angle. So if I drew an angle over here, pew, 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 1, A, B, C, right? You could call that angle 1, angle B, angle ABC, and the last one is CBA. Please make sure that you put the little angle symbol in front of that. Hey, don't forget about union questions. So union questions are something that we're going to look at in the book here in just a little bit. And you're going to need your book while I'm talking about that. So union, you're putting together or you're uniting. And then intersection, that's like what do they have in common or where do they collide? Acute, right, obtuse, straight, blah, 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 blah. You guys know that stuff, right? Okay, if I said add these guys, obviously you could add these and get 31. You could add this and get an 8. Oh, and uh-oh. Go ahead and keep on adding this. That's a 12, so that's 52. But wait, there's more. You can't change the 31 because it's under 60. But this guy just goes to an 8, and this guy becomes a 53. Adding and subtracting minutes, seconds, yeah. Okay, this one you have to go like this. It's been a minute since we've done this, hasn't it? 89, 59, 60. And now you can subtract. So that's 50, that's 42. And then this is a 7 and a 5. Hey, look at that. Well, that was pretty cool. Okay. Oh, how come I can't? Oh, there we go. Okay, if I said change 46 and 2/3 degrees into degrees and minutes, you're just going to take 2/3 times 60 and get 40. So it'd be 46 degrees, 40 minutes. Okay. If I wanted to go just back to degrees, like make it a decimal, I would take 4. So that was this one, right? But on this one, I would take 4 divided by 60. Okay, so on my handy dandy calculator, I'm going to take 4 divided by 60, hit enter, and get 1/15. But wait, let's go ahead and make it a decimal instead. So that is going to be 123.07 degrees. I think I'll tell you how many decimal places to go out on your quiz, okay? So, yay, that was easy. Okay, remember there's going to be a ratio problem, and if it says a ratio of 1 to 2, that just means make it 1x and 2x. There will also be a paragraph proof on the test. It'll be pretty lame-o. Remember that paragraph proofs let's see if I can find an example and not have to, let's see, hang on a second. So, yeah, remember, like you could just say, okay, if an angle's been bisected, that's the same thing as dividing by 2. Like you could say that in a paragraph proof, divide by 2. I'm looking at the exact problem. It says bisects, so you were going to have to say, oh, yeah, this angle. Yeah. It's going to say bisects, and you just need to know you just divide by 2. That's making for a great video, isn't it? Wow, that was just great. Okay. 2-column proof with the note card. I think there'll probably be 2 of them. Clock problems, remember all you do is just divide this baby by 2 and get 7.5. But then you got to draw it, don't you? So 615, it's right there. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. So then this guy really hasn't moved that much, has it? So that 7.5 goes right there. Okay. Let's see if this one's different. 145. Okay, divide 145 by 2 and get 22.5. Let's draw that baby. So there's 12, there's 1, there's 9. Hello, hello. Oh, maybe I need a 2 also, don't I? Okay, so there's the 45. There's 10, 11, 12. Okay, so 145 is going to be there. Oh, and that 22.5 is that piece also, isn't it? Shucks. The hour hand is in front of the minute hand. That number is just going to get added to it, right? If the hour hand is behind the minute hand, then you're going to be subtracting, okay? But each time, sorry, it looks like the hour hand was in front of the minute hand. My bad. Okay, and remember, each one of these gaps is 30, right? 30, 60, 90, and then 7.5. So that would have been 97.5 degrees. And then this one was 30, 60, 90, 120, so 142.5. Let's see what's on the back side. Okay, what's up here? More clock problems, 8:05. Oh, okay, let's try it. Maybe this one's different. Please let it be different. Okay, there's 8:05. Where is the 8? So here's 9, here's 8, here's 10 and 11. Okay, got it. So 8:05 is going to go like here. Right? Okay, so I take 5 and I divide it by 2 and I get 2.5. Well, that 2.5 is this guy, but this one is different, isn't it? Okay, so the whole thing is 30, which means this has to be 27.5 degrees. So then I'm just going to go 30, 60, 90, 120, so 147.5 degrees. Okay, so yay, that one was different. You had to subtract because the hour hand was trailing the minute hand. All right, next one. If something's being trisected, find angle A in degrees and minutes. Okay, so we're just going to divide by 3, right? So we're going to take 40.2 and we're going to divide by 3. Turn that into a decimal. I got 13.4. Hello. It's not writing. I know you can hear that. There we go. 13.4 degrees, but that's not in degrees and minutes. So now I got to take this 0.4 and multiply it by 60. And so the answer would become 13 degrees and then what? 24 minutes. Yippee. It was being trisected. Okay, a conditional is P implies Q. Converse is Q implies P. An inverse is not P implies not Q. And the contrapositive is not Q implies not P. Must memorize. Got it? Okay, cool. Oh, extend the page. What's going on here? The perimeter is 10 more than 5 RS. Well, RS is already X. So perimeter is 10 more than 5 RS. So there's 5 RS and then 10 more than that. Okay, let's do it. How do you find perimeter? Add all the sides. So I'm going to add all the sides. Okay, so x plus x is 2x. 26 plus 26 is 52. And then that equals the perimeter. Well, the perimeter is 10 more than 5 RS. So that's 5x plus 10. Subtract the 2x over here, get 3x. Subtract the 10 there, get 42. Divide and get 14. Okay, and then it says find RS. Well, oh, that's the same as X. So RS, I don't even have to plug it in. It's 14. Yippee. That wasn't too bad, was it? No. Okay, let's do this one. This is a ratio problem. It said the ratio of WX to XY is 3 to 2. So that means 3x and 2x, doesn't it? Find WX. But then it also tells you this is 25. So that's going to be 3x plus 2x equals 25. 5x equals 25. And x equals 5. But it says find WX. So WX would be 3 times 5, which is 15. Yay. Ooh, let's do this one. This is a great one. Find angle Y. Well, you know that this is 180, yeah? Okay, so if we know that that's 180, then that means that I can just add those two together and subtract from 180. Okay, let's do it. So I'm going to do 70, 40, 16. 70, 40, 16. But I'm going to add on 60, 29. Okay, so here we go. Row. So then we're going to make that right. Hope I added those right. Yeah, looks like I did. I took out 60 and added it to 130 and got 131. So now I have to subtract that from 180, but wait, you can't. So you're going to do 179, 59, 60 minus 131, 9, 16. Now, can I subtract that? I sure hope so. So that's the quattro. That's 50. And then that's going to be an ocho. And that's going to be a quattro. Right? 48, 50, 44. 48, 50, 44. Okay, now this is the part where you guys are going to need your book, right? So I am busting out my book, and this is exactly what I'm going to do in class also. I'm doing this during my plan period for you because I care. That's right. It's Wednesday morning. You guys are on a bus already. Okay, so it says, all right, while you're at it, let's look at page 54, 1 through 9. So I am on page 54 and looking at 1 through 9. So there's a nice little drawing. I'm not going to draw it. But it just says name all the possible ways the lines containing A, R, and D, A, R, and D can be named. Oh, it's a line. So it doesn't matter where the last letter is. Okay, so I'll just say these, and if you want to write them down, that's fine. You can play the video slower or whatever. But AR, line AR, line AD, line RA, line RD, line DA, and line DR. Okay, in other words, when you're naming a line, it doesn't have to go all the way from the left side to the right side. You can stop in the middle because remember, a line's going to go on forever. 1B, name the sides of angle ABC. Well, B is the vertex, and remember to name it, you have to, for those rays, you have to start with B. So that would be ray BA and ray BC. Then 1C, what side do angle 2 and angle 4 have in common? Well, if you look at the drawing, angle 2 and angle 4 have ray DF in common. Yes, you need to answer it as a ray. 1D, name the horizontal ray with endpoint C. Okay, horizontal means flat, so that would be ray CB, because that's the top one. 1E, it says, estimate the size of angle BAD. I'm not going to have you guys do that, so skip 1E. 1F, are angles FCD and DCE different angles? Well, let's look at it. FCD, okay, that's kind of like that top corner part of it. And then DCE, are they different angles? Nope, they're the same angle. Trace it with your finger. It doesn't matter that one side's a little longer, you know, the ray goes on forever. And then 1G, which angle in figure, oh wait, which angle in the figure is angle B? Well, you can't, there isn't, right? Because you can't just call something angle B because there's a line going through there, so it could be like angle 1 or angle 3, you know what I'm saying? So there is no angle B. Okay, now for the union and the intersection, ready? 1H is line AC. 1I is segment EF. 1J is angle 1. 1K is just the letter A, point A. And 1L, that is FE, segment FE. So you guys might want to write those down and then look over that on page 54, right? That's where I'm at so far. Wow, that was cool. Problem 1 had all those problems. We went to the letter L. That is awesome. All right, question number 2. Tell whether each of the following angles appears to be acute, right, obtuse, or straight. So 2A, I think that looks right. 2B, obtuse. 2C, acute. 2D, straight. And 2E, right. You right. Number 3, if you add those two angles together, you guys might want to try it yourself, but the answer is 69 degrees, 4 minutes, 35 seconds. Number 3B, if you subtract them, and you might want to try it yourself, it's 50 degrees, 59 minutes, 43 seconds. This is just review. You don't have to turn this in or anything, okay? 4A, well, we've already done these, but if you want to try it again, the correct answer is 46 degrees, 52 minutes, 30 seconds. And then 4B, turning it back into a decimal form, that would be 132.1 degrees. Going to number 5, how long is this video taking? I don't even see the thing. There we go. Oh, we're at 20 minutes. Cool. Going on to number 5. According to the diagram, which two segments are congruent? Okay, that would be the little tick marks. So BC, segment BC, and segment RT. And then 5, according to the diagram, which two angles are congruent? So based on the tick marks, the only ones that match up are angle A and angle S. Number 6, if angle EFG is obtuse, okay, got it, and HJK is right, got it, is angle 1 congruent to angle 2? Well, they don't tell you, so no. No, they're not. They both have to be 70, but it can't be 70 if it's obtuse. And then number 6B, if those two angles are congruent, EFG and HJK, does that make angle 1 congruent to angle 2? Heck yeah. Aren't they the same? If EFG was congruent to HJK, okay, so new problem. Now they're just saying, okay, let's assume that one's not obtuse and one's not right. Let's just say that they're congruent. Well, then angle 1 would be congruent to angle 2. So you'd have to totally ignore 6A to answer that one as a yes. Number 7, if angle A is congruent to angle B, find angle A. Oh, we can do this very easily. If they're congruent, you set them equal. So that would be 2x plus 5 equals 50 minus 4x, because they said they were congruent. Whatever x is, plug it in. You would find, if you want to try it yourself, that angle A is 20. Number 8. The measure of angle 1 and 2 and 3 are in a ratio of 1 to 3 to 2, so that'd be 1x plus 3x plus 2x equals a straight line, 180. So we did this one on a quiz. The angles would be 30, 90, and 60. Number 9, is it possible for both NOR and POS to be right angles? Not a chance. No, they'd have to be different values, because one would have to be 30 and one would have to be 20. I hope you understand that one. Now I'm jumping to question number 21. If you go to page 57, number 21, these are the angles of a clock. I'm just going to tell you the answers, and then you can practice them if you want. 21A is 30. 21B is 140. And 21C is 127.5 degrees. Then question number 22. Write the converse, the inverse, and the contrapositive of the statement. If the time is 2 o'clock, then the angle formed by the hands of a clock is acute. There we go. Okay. So going backwards, for converse, it would be if the hands of a clock are acute, then it's 2 o'clock. That doesn't make sense. That's false. The inverse would be if the time isn't 2 o'clock, then the angles formed aren't acute. That's false. And then if the hands of a clock aren't acute, then the time isn't 2 o'clock. Oh, let's think about that one. If the hands of a clock aren't acute, so they're obtuse, then the time isn't 2 o'clock. What do you think about number 22? I think the contrapositive, even though the converse and the inverse were false, I think the contrapositive is true, because it is. Okay, so that was those. And then for some reason, I jumped to page 35, didn't I? So if I jump to page 35 and I look at questions 21 and 22, okay, they were, I can actually write these down. Number 21, it's a small plus small equals big problem, right? I can barely read it. X squared plus 3 plus 4 plus 2x has to equal 15. Now I'm going to kind of clean that up, right? So it'd be x squared plus 2x plus 7 equals 15. Okay, I'm going to subtract 15. And then I'm going to ask myself, what two numbers multiply to 8, well, negative 8, and add up to 2, or subtract to 2? Okay, so the answer has to be 4 and negative 2, because 4 minus 2 is 2. Uh-oh. Equals 0. So that means that x is negative 4 and x is 2, the opposites, right? So it said find the value of x. Obviously, x can't be negative 4, can it? Because that would make QR a negative value. So this guy is out. If you plug in negative 4, that would be 4 plus 2 times negative 4, and that would be no bueno. Is Q the midpoint? If you plug in 2 into both of those guys, you would see that it is not the midpoint. One of them is 7, and one of them is 8. Not the midpoint. And then question number 22. On question number 22, it says OP and OR trisect, which means they're equal to each other, right? Ooh, this is a tough one. That's why it's a problem set C. But it's just going to be, we're just going to say 3x minus 4y equals x minus y. But then we're also going to say y minus 10 equals x minus y. Okay, I want to get like numbers left and, you know, all that cool stuff. So let's try to do that, can we? So I want to do letters left, numbers right. So letters left, 2x minus 3y equals 0. And then this guy would become negative x plus 2y equals 10. I hope I did that right. Does it look like I did that right? I moved the x over, yep. I moved the y over, yep. And I moved the 10 to the right. Okay, so I would just multiply this guy by 2. It's not wanting to write. There we go. I would just multiply that guy by 2. So I'm going to rewrite the top one. And I'm going to write the new bottom one. And then I'm going to add down. Hey, look at that. The x's went away. And I get y equals 20. Okay, then take that 20. There we go. And plug it back in. I don't know. Can we put it right here? Okay, so that would be 2x minus 60, because that's 3 times 20, equals 0. So that'd be 2x equals 60, and x equals 30. Okay, but wait, the problem isn't done, is it? It says find angle ROS. Well, ROS is y minus 10. Oh, crud, I didn't even have to find x. So ROS is 20 minus 10, and the answer is 10. That is it for my video. I say to you, this is the same exact thing that we are going to do in class. I'm actually going to make them work out some of the problems. But that's our whole class, all right? So I hope this video helps. Good luck on the test tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow.